Welcome back to another out of spec Scoots video, and this is an unboxing of the Rad Power Bike's Rad Runner PLUS. This is one of their kind of nicer premium street cruiser bikes. It's very dual purpose, multi-purpose actually. I think 330 different combinations of accessories can be done with this bike. 750 watt motor peak. They don't say what the nominal is, but they just say under 750. And this retails for $18.99. This one comes stock with this passenger package, and we'll get into that more later. But basically you can have a rear passenger sit on here, this nice espresso brown seat, foot pegs, and a wheel skirt. This is going to be a nice unboxing video to see how this whole process is. Rad Power is kind of known to be one of my favorite bikes to build, and we'll get into everything underneath the foam here as we unbox it. So let's rewind, put it back in the box, quote unquote, and pull it out. All right, let's unbox this bad boy. But first of all, let's review the box, which we won't do for every brand, but Rad Power Bikes always comes on point with the incredible artwork. Although I will say, with the animation style, does it not look like they're riding through the river? That's what I thought of when I saw this. They are just going on a rad venture, as Rad Power Bikes would call it. And both sides actually looks pretty cool. This one has a bunch of cars. I don't recommend riding with all the cars, but the "You Are Rad" sign. Always fun to look at the boxes, and as per usual, if you have kids lying around with markers or crayons, this is a great art project that'll keep them occupied for hours. Also, as per usual, some good packaging. Thick cardboard. This thing looks good. Lots of styrofoam. And then first, I'll grab the quote-unquote small box, which is, not labeled at all. Subtle. See what's in here. This should be charger, headlight, toolkit, the usual things. And yes, toolkit, headlight, nice big, with a halo and a rock guard. This thing is rad. And pedals, bags of, screws for front fender and the plate for the handlebars and the charger. So we'll get into all this here in just a second. If I can borrow my production assistant to pull this bad boy out of here. They recommend having a friend for this one part. Oh, thanks, Timon.
The silver looks sick.
Yeah, this is a new color for us, silver, and it's the only color this one comes in. Carefully take this off. You don't want to damage these beautiful brown seats. And again, this comes standard with the passenger package, which is this really cool rear seat and foot pegs somewhere down there. Cut away all of the excess packaging. I am loving the color of this bike, probably the most of all of them. Meaty zip ties. Let's see here. Okay, so the front fender is affixed to the back here. So you want to take this off. There we go. Move that for later. And there's also a wheel skirt, as they call it. So the wheel skirt, the passenger foot pegs right here, and this seat together make the passenger package. Probably for small passengers. The total weight of the payload for this bike is 300 pounds. Zip ties literally everywhere. But I love this. With their marketing materials, they mention the espresso brown seat as being a homage to the retro styling they used to develop the Rad Runner style bike. Yeah, that's absolutely cool. Life hack. Pull the seat out. Do that. because that was impossible. can adjust that later. All right, now let's free up the front wheel here. That is all done. More of their classic warning labels literally everywhere. That's definitely a Rad Power Bikes thing. Now we'll free up the front handlebars because that'll be our first step. Yeah, they cover every single exposable element, which is kind of nice. So, A+ on the packaging so far. And they even zip tie the plate to the handlebars. So you have to cut that just to then re-screw it down. There we go. All right, we'll need that in a second, but these will also have to be twisted 180 degrees, so that way the brake is on the left side. Then we are ready to go ahead and fasten this. So now we'll return to the small box and get those screws I need, and we'll look at the toolkit here. Just gonna lay everything out. Fair amount of wrenches, Allen tools, and even brake pad adjustment, nice. And of course the reversible screwdriver. They even say in their instructions you won't have to use every tool, but they give it to you anyways. So I'll get the screws threaded and then I will adjust it before I tighten them. I think I built 5, something like that.
And what would you say this bike compares in terms of packaging and seemingly ease of install compared to the others?
It seems that Rad Power Bikes is near the top of the list. Like if I'm expecting to build a bike, they are one of my favorites to assemble. They're just very straightforward and easy, high quality components and packaging. Although the Aerial Rider, I think that's what it was called, the red one I like that no one else likes. Yeah, I like that one too. Okay. Get this mounted approximate. You can always adjust it later. And I definitely recommend looking back at adjusting everything to your proper ergonomics after it's all assembled, because all the height and everything will change once you add the front wheel. But this way it'll at least be mounted. All right, so I will also get this wheel ready. There's protector plates on both sides, one by the brake rotor, and they always recommend not touching the rotor if at all possible. Don't want that greasy. And pull those off so you can have access to put the axle through the wheel, which the axle is, yep, on this plate here. So to cut that away, and now you can pull down the lever to loosen that, untwist the adjustment nut on the other side here, all the way. You want to take it fully off so you can remove the axle and the pine cone springs. I think they're just called cone springs, but I saw someone call them pine cone springs, and that's all I can think about now. Pull this out. There we go. Keep it all kind of together. And this can be removed. This is the fork protector plate. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, and it is useful if you ever want to take a wheel off and leave the bike upright. Take all that out. Now, brake rotor also on the left side, and this goes back through, and you'll leave the cone spring, one on each side, facing inwards towards the wheel, and you just twist it just enough to have it on there. Then, yeah, the brake rotor is a little tight. So if that's the case, what you can do is adjust the actual spacing. There's an Allen key right here. That's too small, it's this one. And you can adjust it to make it a little more loose. Some bikes actually come with a spacer to keep between the brake pads. This one is not that way. Time to put the kickstand down. And then you'll leave this pointed kind of straight out. Tighten the adjustment nut. Not fully tight, but you can kind of tell, like right now, if it's loose, this will just kind of like almost fall over by itself. So you tighten it till it doesn't want to fall anymore. So that wasn't quite tight enough. Another thing they officially say is it's tight enough once you can tighten it and it leaves an imprint on your hand. That wasn't quite tight enough. There we go. That's official word from Rad Power Bikes. Wow, this thing is really coming together. And
15 minutes.
So easily. All right, next is the headlight. And yeah, this thing is sweet. This is probably my new favorite headlight, honestly. And I've seen a lot of headlights from all my unboxings. Big headlight guy. Front fender.
Does that headlight run off the battery pack?
It does.
They can't hear me.
This headlight runs off the battery pack with the typical connection type thing. So that's nice. And let's see. Yep, taillight's beneath the seat. So this, let's see. This slides in from the back. Just gonna keep those out of the way. And they already have a bolt here. You just have to undo it. Oh, and of course it needs tools. So basically go through the light and the fender. Make sure there's a washer there too. So light, or I guess bolt, washer, light, fender, arch, then another washer and the nut. It's not complicated. There we go. It's looking pretty good. So I'll leave that almost tight while I adjust or attach the side bars of the fender here. So these go up. And that's what the other bag over here is for. These little guys. More bolts with a washer and a crush washer. And they thread directly into the metal, so there's no actual nut on the other end. So of course it's all possible with the tools in the bag, but if you have a power drill with hex bits, that would make it a little faster, or just better hand coordination. Okay, I'll start with that. Now the other side, same thing. Now make sure both sides are tight, and then we will finish tightening this part right here. Now that that's fully tightened, we will test and do some final adjustments on the front fender and headlight just to make sure they're fully straightened. Looks good. That can be adjusted up and down, even separately from the reflector. Wow, the attention to detail in this thing. So, all that's left is really the pedals and cutting away all the rest of the stuff. And then we'll have the final unveiling. Yeah, we gotta always see what they ship with battery percentage wise, which is always interesting because you'd hope it's not completely full or completely dead. And most of them are pretty good about that. So the display is here. It's kind of, haven't tightened those down yet. Display is nicely protected.
Typical old style Rad display.
Very classy.
Not like the 6 Plus though.
I like this thing. This is like the perfect blend of retro modern. So many warning labels. Yeah. And the pedals. Typical well-go pedals that we see in nearly every bike.
Metal though.
Nice, sturdy metal pedals. And, oh, interesting. Almost every pedal comes with little labels that say left or right. Even this one says it does in the instructions, and they didn't come labeled. So that's kind of funny. But each pedal is threaded differently. Yep, so the right pedal threads normal, righty-tighty. Clockwise.
As the pros would say.
And then 15, I believe, is the standard. Yep, to tighten it down. Then the left side is counterclockwise. Tightened, looks fantastic. Now, my favorite part, the peeling of the plastic. Let me make sure the microphone is nice and nice. The 7-speed Shimano. Nice. All right. What do we think the state of charge is going to be? Okay, I got the keys in my pocket. And the key over here. Okay. Wait, how do you start this thing?
Full.
Looks full. Wow.
0 miles. Not even a test mile.
Trip, yeah, 0.0.
Never seen that.
This is completely unused by anyone. Will be the first. This is a good time though to test the handlebar and final adjust that, because now you can actually sit on it and, oh yeah, headlights. I did not plug in the headlight. There's a little notch that'll help you guide. There's always something you forget. There we go. Just right into time and space. So we could probably bend that down a little bit there.
Sorry.
Good morning. How's the taillight look? That should be on too. Does it get brighter or does it flash?
Just gets brighter.
Just gets brighter, okay. Tire pressure is probably on Rad's website. We can also see it on the tires, right? Yeah, the tires show the maximum tire pressure. Ooh, yeah, it's got some juice. That is fully done, unboxed, looks good to go for me and a really tiny passenger. So, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.